Welcome to this week's Furious Fourcast. This week is actually a Furious 3 cast, as apparently Atlanta is buried under 6 feet of snow. Did I hear that right?
7.
So Scott will not be joining us this evening. His loss. We're too awesome for him anyways. Meanwhile, in places that know how to deal with snow, you have me, your host, Jen Bozier in Colorado. We have our Pittsburghian, Max Parker.
Yinzer. That's what Pittsburghers are called.
I know, I hate that so much. It sounds
So do
like
I.
it's a currency. Yen is a currency. Anyway. And my fellow Coloradite? Whatever. Robert Workman.
I'm so cold. You're right.
There's actually like 3 inches of snow out on the ground, but that's...
It's not bad.
Three
It's
inches.
slushy. It's slushy. I could actually drive through this. Meanwhile, Atlanta gets like 2 inches. Let's create a traffic jam and make
How
it
many
like a
people
Walking
died?
Dead. I don't know, but there were a bunch of car wrecks. People
I
actually.
think like 2 people died and there were like thousands injured. It's
It's kind of weird. Somebody actually set up a keg and watched the cars crash all day. From what I
Oh
heard.
my goodness.
That's a show.
Here's the tip: when there's snow on the ground, drive slowly.
Yeah.
Also-
How you handle that?
Here's the bigger tip, Atlanta. Don't let every single business out at the same time.
Okay, right.
If you want to declare it a statewide snow day, roll it out.
This
don't
section.
just release. I mean, 'cause that's why it looked like the apocalypse, is they basically released the hounds.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
I know. Some people just don't know how to handle winter weather. Meanwhile, we get a blizzard here. Oh, good time to stay in and watch Lord of the Rings all day.
I wish. I go to work. I have a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Aw.
So, anyways, this week, we skipped last week because, well, technical difficulties. So we're back to talk about Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo.
You gotta love it when a company is be like, yeah, we know we screwed up in profits, and then midway through the presentation, smile. I'm like, what? Oh boy.
Yeah.
We know it's Iwata. We know it's Iwata, but it's not Yamauchi. We know it now. It's like, yeah, it's Iwata.
You gotta feel bad. I mean, we love to joke about Nintendo, but nobody likes to see this happen, especially to a company like Nintendo that has been around forever.
No.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Well, at least some things are hopeful. I mean, they did say, Super Smash Brothers is this year, Mario Kart 8 coming out in May, just in time for summer. That's actually a pretty well-timed release because not too much is happening in May, if I recall correctly, not too many releases. So, it's actually some good is coming out of it, and I think they're finally relenting and starting to dip into the mobile market a little bit, even though we're not going to see, full-fledged games. We're going to see stuff with their characters. So I guess that means Mario is Missing is coming, guys. Get ready.
I love how vague that was. It's going to be more than ads. It's going to be engaging. Don't write that we're making games because that would be misleading. We're involving mobile. So that's as vague as it could possibly be.
They're games, but they're not games. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's no details. They gave no details.
And it's kind of interesting. In a cryptic sort of way, they said we're not going to give up on hardware and we're not going to give up on the Wii U, but it almost sounds like they're leaving the door open for possible new hardware, like that hinted Fusion that we saw like a while ago.
Well, if you recall, there was an article that popped up on Wired this afternoon that this is where I read it at least, that the third platform will sit alongside the Wii U and 3DS, and it will focus on health and keeping you healthy along the lines of Wii Fit and Brain Age, because
all I can think of is that vitality sensor. You guys remember that?
Right. And
we stick my finger in this. Oh, this is interactive.
And yeah, and they segued into it when talking about wearable tech, like the big trend is wearable tech with like Google Glasses and Samsung smartwatch. But there weren't many details on that either. It said that it won't necessarily be something we use in the living room. So.
See, I don't know. Does that mean they're creating like a Virtual Boy all over again? Remember how that went?
It was so secretive. Like the whole thing was just so secretive. It's weird.
Well, and the thing to me was that, okay, so last year when Xbox, when they did their big presentation and reveal, right, they really focused on making themselves an entertainment center and focusing on owning the whole living room, and people kind of reacted poorly to that, right? So it was like, no, we just want a gaming machine. And then Nintendo comes out today and they're like, oh, we're going to have a health machine. Wait, what? What?
Crazy. Out of left field stuff.
So out of left field. And, I'm still not convinced in the wearable market. Because as of yet, at least, nothing in the wearable market has come out that has made me think I need to have that. All I see is yet another gadget that does something like these 7 other gadgets I own does.
Right. The problem with it, the big problem I have with it is it's all companion stuff. Like it's something that goes along with your phone. It's not. It can't do it can't do anything alone. You have to have your phone. So like until it gets to that level where it's a replacement for something, I'm not a believer in it yet.
You know, remember that time when Nintendo actually made games and didn't worry about wearable tech or motion controls or anything like that? Back when, hey, I had this thing called a controller. Those were the days.
Yeah, but then they decided to just stick with that and not join the next gen and fight that online thing, and now they're kind of struggling at that thing that they do. So
I know. See, I mean, there is one thing working in their favor, and that's the fact they're trying to get Nintendo DS games on the Wii U. Like, it's not 3DS, but it is something, and it does kind of open the door a little bit to cheap virtual console games. But by the same token, you know, they didn't address anything like if Watch Dogs is being canceled. They didn't say, oh, we're going to announce more games or anything like that. They're just relying on these slow, steady releases. And then by the time E3 comes around, they're going to introduce wearable tech.
Yeah, and with the DS games on the Wii U, I don't know how this is just coming out. They're just starting to talk about this now. Like, how wasn't this already starting to be developed before the system came out? Because here you have Nintendo's best-selling console of all time, the DS, and here you have a new home console that has 2 screens. How is this not a no-brainer? Like, why? This should be day one stuff, you know?
Nintendo hasn't exactly been the speediest when it comes to releasing virtual console downloadable games. You remember how long it took the Wii market to pick up? Hell, it still kind of is. I mean, it still doesn't have all the games that it could have, all the potential that it could have. And the eShop updates, they read like something that you'd see out of 1997. I mean, it is nice to have Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, but when that and Mario Brothers for the 3DS are your highlights, compared to, like, say, The Walking Dead Season 2 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 or Halo Spartan Assault, you know, it almost seems like they're missing something in terms of the downloadable thing. The DS market will help that, but they really need to step it up and introduce, like, something worth getting excited for in their shop besides cloud, you know?
And how did they not get Link to the Past out before the sequel came out?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. Super Mario Brothers 3, one of the best games ever for NES, is out in Europe and out in Japan. US? Nope.
Strange.
Nope. Seriously.
Well, but they did announce Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, but that was, you know, for May, maybe. Because, you know, Nintendo, they usually, like, delay some. And plus, you got to wonder, like, is it going to be a complete game? Because here's the thing. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is coming out next month, but will not utilize the gamepad except as the secondary screen if you're not playing on the TV. So there won't be any sort of secondary display or anything like that like there were with other games. It almost seems like they're trying to, like, do away with gamepad features, even though that's supposed to be the innovative part of the system.
And well, they mentioned that in the conference that he said that they need to work on more ways to creatively use the gamepad. And here we have Tropical Freeze
without having anything, a blank screen. I'm like, okay, great, thanks a lot, guys.
I guess we'll see that in the distant future, because he also mentioned that he needed to retool their marketing, their holiday marketing. So they're already talking about holiday marketing.
Now if Mario Kart 8 has a blank screen, that's kind of a letdown, because Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed is out for Wii U, and the second screen is used to kind of show you a track diagram from overhead. Now, you'd think Mario Kart 8 would use something like that, but if they are trying to do away with it, then I'm like, why am I playing in this big fat gamepad that won't use the touchscreen?
Right.
Unless, of course, I'm not playing on the TV, you know?
I think the comment that got thrown out, or that I've read at least, I'm not sure what the exact quote of was, but I've read it in several articles now, was when they said that there was a big, like when they were explaining why there's a lack of games, they said that there's a big technological leap between the Wii and the Wii U, and they weren't ready for that.
Wait, the Wii U is the equivalent.
What?
No, you know, this is Nintendo. If you can't master your systems by, I don't know, the 20-somethingth year that you're in the electronics business.
And a year after it's released, and that's still your excuse, is we weren't ready for the technological leap?
No, you weren't. They weren't ready for the connection with the gamepad. I mean, let's be honest, playing with a big, bulky, stupid thing is a lot more inconvenient than playing with a controller.
Sure.
Right, like the professional, the pro controller, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
The thing that you need to pay extra money for.
The Pro Controller? You're not a fan of the Pro Controller?
No, the Pro Controller just feels too loose compared
I
to
love it.
the PlayStation 4 controller owns all. We're done talking.
Yeah, I
Still
agree.
don't like the I still don't like the PS4 one. I'm just not used to it.
Goodness, it's
Oh, get out of my
Battery.
podcast.
Battery is
No.
I'll give you battery, but man, is that a perfect.
No, the perfect
It is.
controller was the 360 controller. If they
True.
could just copy paste that controller for every console and just make that the universal controller, I'd play everything. I'd play Wii if I could have that exact controller. Oh, I miss my
But-
360 controller.
Life is hard.
It is hard. Damn it, stop mocking me. Speaking of hard, it's hard not to draw some comparisons with other games with the new Shadow of Mordor trailer that came out for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I think my favorite quip about it was that it looks to Assassin's Creed as Darksiders looked to Zelda.
You know, say what you want about comparisons. This is one of the most inspired Lord of the Ring games. And sometimes the last one was Lego Lord of the Rings. Last one was Lego Lord of the Rings. So shut up. I mean, the thing is, it's like with Lord of the Ring games, they're either like something that's a little too close to the movie theme, or something that tries to relate to the book, or always tries to go for some sort of adventure tone, and it doesn't always work. With Shadow of Mordor, we're getting like this original take. It's not trying to ape the movie. It's just trying to take elements from the movie while creating this original adventure game. I'm actually excited for it. It looks like a really good game. The thing is, with the 8-minute video that we saw for gameplay, I think the only thing that threw me off was the narration. It sounded so plain to be like, and this is him going down to the north. I'm like, dude, get excited. Something. Talk like a Hobbit. Something. Anything.
It had to have been a dev, right? That's my guess.
Yeah, this is how he goes over here. Some developers just don't know how to. I mean, I love developers. They don't know how to talk to me like, hello, this is our game.
It does look really cool. I mean, and with Assassin's Creed comparisons, I could see the movement. Sure, the combat a little bit looks like maybe a cross between Arkham and Assassin's Creed. But man, that non-linear story and like how you can progress, that stuff looks amazing. Like on near endless amount of paths. I look forward to seeing just how deep that gets, but that 8-minute trailer made it look really promising.
I think it's going to be, and it's nice to see so much footage so soon. They could have done the teaser route like UFC 2014 or something like that. Oh, we'll reveal more in the months ahead. No, they're like, here's 8 minutes. This is how the world's going to look. And like I said, yeah, it does look like it apes a little bit of Assassin's Creed style, but I'd rather have a game that successfully apes style than trying to go for something that doesn't fit. Like, just the other week, Jen and I were talking about this real letdown of a game from Bethesda. I forgot the name, Hunted. And it was just blurg. It was like, original idea, plays like shit.
I always felt that was Fantasy Army of Two. That's how that game played to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say I'm actually really neutral on this one because I'm not a big loader fan, and I never have been, and I've never liked none of the games. I've never really liked any of the games. So when I saw this, it was kind of like, oh, okay, I guess Assassins and loader, why not?
You didn't like Two Towers? You ever play Two Towers? That like hack and slash Dynasty Warriors kind of thing for Lord of the Rings? No?
You see my look?
That's a great game. That's too bad.
No, I am excited for the Zelda Dynasty Warrior style game though.
Of course.
I know. Shut up! Don't judge me.
Miss Hyrule Warriors over there. That's what's going to save the Wii U when Jen buys one.
I'm not gonna buy one. Hell, I'll never play that game. Like that's the saddest thing to me about that game.
Oh,
It's
BS!
It looks so good. I will never play it.
Bullshit! You're talking about? I'm going to get my review copy. Like, hey, Robert, can I come over for 6 hours?
No,
Yeah, right.
no,
Yeah, right.
I won't.
You say that now. You say
I
that.
do. I'm serious. I have no desire to play it on that. If it came out on DS, that'd be a whole other thing. Play the shit out of it.
Whatever.
Oh,
She says, we're going to find her at like the Toys R Us kiosk. It's not 9 o'clock yet. Shut up.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
Shadow of Mordor looks also like it's cool that now the systems are out. We're seeing content and trailers for games that look like truly next gen that take advantage of this extra power, like not just graphically, but just an amount of content you can put in a game, like the more characters in battle at the same time in Shadow of Mordor, and just the many different paths you can go. So there's just a lot of game in this, and games like it doesn't look like it'd be possible on the previous gen.
It looks like, yeah, it actually takes advantage of the hardware. It actually, it's not just all flash in the pan stuff. It's like WB Games is starting to really identify what'll click for this generation. I mean, another game I saw, Dying Light. You guys are familiar with it from the Dead Island developers. Actually, looks like a big step up in first-person action. And it actually looks like it makes a difference on next-gen hardware compared to, say, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Whereas with something like Thief, it's too murky to really tell.
Sure.
Although I will play the Final Thief just to see how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, as much as I've kind of knocked on Thief, I can't wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
Old school.
It'll be fun. Whoa, we lost volume.
Anytime there's a stealth game, I get happy.
Of course.
So, I Shadows of Mordor, depending on what comes out from it, I may play it. It was surprising to me that this came out, and I was completely neutral. I was like, oh, a game.
Hard to please.
Well, a game is
hard to please.
No, I wasn't
disappointed.
disappointed with it or anything. I was completely ambivalent. I was like, oh.
Now, something that Jen is crazy about, even though it's kind of inadvertent, it's because of the packaging and not the game itself. Elder Scrolls Online. That was a perfect tie-in. Shut up. That was a perfect transition into the next topic. But no, they announced a new Imperial Edition, and this is Jen before they announced the Imperial Edition. Elder Scrolls Online? Why would I buy that? After I announced it, take my money. Jen.
Shiny things.
I saw it on Front Street. I'm blushing. So, yeah, I have no desire to play this game. I've played it. I've played in a few of the betas. I've gotten probably 3 or 4 weekends into it, and it's boring. It's dull. And I'm a diehard Elder Scrolls fan, and the problem with it is that if it were free to play, I'd probably play it, but I see nothing that's worth $15 a month, and more importantly, I see nothing that is worth $15 a month plus my Xbox Live Gold subscription. But the collector's edition, oh my god, it hits my 3 soft spots. Statue, map, steel case. That's really all. And if it had a soundtrack in it, I would have already purchased it. I'm not going to buy this thing.
Yes,
I'm not going to do
you
it.
say you're not, and then you're going to be at the store for pre-order. So who are you kidding? You're going to buy it. And then you're never going to pay the $50.
Steel case.
I know.
Skyrim did not come with a steel case, and it was a $150 collector's edition. I mean, granted, the Alduin statue is badass, and I love it, and the map was really cool, but the map also came with a standard edition. I would like to point that out. And it wasn't a steel case. It's a shitty paper case. It's not even a plastic case. So, steel case.
I just like how she continues trying to justify it to us. It's fine, Jen. It's your money. If you want to buy it, I understand.
It's a statue of Paul.
You know what?
How cool that is? Why didn't Oblivion come with a statue of Paul?
Hold on. I want to admit something here, okay? I am going to buy the $250 Titanfall Collector's Edition because I want that goddamn statue on my desk.
Titanfall looks cool. We've just established that ESO does not.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about like a $250 special edition.
Okay,
the
valid.
game itself is $60. The special edition is going to be $250 because of that statue. I don't care. I want it, and I'll probably buy the controller too, just to piss off Kyle. That's how I do it. So it's all good. Hey,
holy shit!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to 4, I think. Let's see how
That's
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, Scott Grill has dug himself out of 6 feet snowdrifts to join us this evening.
Let's see how long
We're
he
so
stays.
glad to see that Scott was not one of the dozens killed in the great Atlanta evacuation of 14.
Let's just remember, we get this like once every few years versus every other day for you in Colorado.
And Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And Pittsburgh, yeah.
And look at that, Scott.
Lord, good evening,
shave.
Scott.
This is
Hello,
awesome.
hello.
Hello.
I just spent the last 30 minutes going through my registry to delete every reference to Google Talk just so I could get the dang thing uninstalled and reinstalled correctly so I could join the podcast.
You're welcome, sir. Glad you made it.
And that's why you're not shaven? You look
This
like
is-
you just
this is my
crawled out
winter
from under
coat.
a bridge.
This is my winter coat from not having to go to work for the last couple of days.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. I don't even right now. Anyways, welcome, Scott. We're talking about Elder Scrolls Online and how tremendous it looks. I'm just kidding. It looks like shit, and I still want the collector's edition.
Because she's old.
And they're making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. We just know
You
you're.
are?
Everyone knows just you cannot resist the collector's editions. It's just that one little.
No, it's if it has. There's 3 elements that it needs to have: a statue, a map, and a steel case. It's why I pre-ordered the Dark Souls 2 collector's edition.
What about the art book? Are you discounting the art book?
Well, I already have the Sky. Guys, I review art books. Like, I love art books. I have so fucking many of them. Excuse my language. Like, I need to start getting rid of some of them because I have them and they're beautiful and I love them, but it's like, where do you put them?
It's okay,
Jen. It can't go on our bookcase because if you notice, other than having our spare change jar here, we have a whole Warhammer thing going. Like these entire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, anyways, a lot of shelves back here are covered in Warhammer books. I don't know what to do with these art books anymore. That's my first world problems rant.
I like that. It was like art books are such a burden, yet she could see Assassin's Creed Black Flag and went, ooh, put it in there.
Oh, that one was gorgeous. That was a gorgeous art book.
There are some exceptions to the rule, I'm just saying. And Scott, I confess that I was going to buy the $250 Titanfall Collector's Edition, so we have our vices.
But that one has pretty lights. So
It does. It does have pretty lights and a robot that'll move every time I'm sitting near the desk, so I'm good.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway, we also talked about Nintendo, Scott, and
you missed that.
Shadow of Mordor, but it's okay. We're moving on to the next topic, so you're here for that. Yay!
Well, now, my big, actually, he's here for buy, sell, or wait, if we would like to, because my big rant about ESO, and they're going to have this star-studded cast, which... Look, guys, I love star-studded casts as much as the next person, but the thing is that if you just get really good voice actors, it won't matter. Like, just having big names attached to it just means that you splurged more on your budget.
And it'll be more pathetic when
I'm just throwing that out there.
I have a hard time with it because I can't say much because I took part in the alpha test, or beta test, the closed beta test, where they have, like, lots of NDAs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, not even talking about the beta test, I mean, it's hard to say it gets the elements of Elder Scrolls right, because you have this, you're not going to have this free range, do whatever you want. You're getting the Elder Scrolls setting and Elder Scrolls. We're getting a Brian Shea visit as well tonight.
Brian Shea has joined us this evening as well. Excellent. Now we have a Furious Fourcast this evening.
I just said that.
Brian Shea, your opinions on Elder Scrolls Online, sir?
I have no opinion whatsoever.
Welcome to the podcast.
It was.
What's your opinion? Nothing.
It was underwhelming to say the least when I played it at PAX East.
Yes.
But that's about all I have to say. Like, I'm not an MMO guy whatsoever.
Mm.
But I'm an Elder Scrolls guy now, like ever since Skyrim, as a lot of people are. Jen, I'm sure you feel like the hipster that's like, I liked Elder Scrolls before it was cool.
I played when Arena was new.
I played Skyrim.
But see, Jen, you said this is boring. This is a boring MMO, and yeah, that's every time I've played it. At Brian, you also mentioned at PAX. I remember they had like an hour-long appointment, so you could play an hour. And like, granted, I was sleep deprived because it's in like convention mode, but I was falling asleep while playing this game. It's so boring.
It's trying to put Skyrim in all the trappings of MMOs like World of Warcraft and Star Wars: Old Republic, and it's just not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And before we move on to buy, sell, or wait, I'm just going to go ahead and say the fishing sucks.
Oh boy.
And that's the most important thing. Gauntlet dropped. Anyways, Scott, would you like to get us started on buy, sell, or wait?
Sure. All right. So we're going to play a game we started the last time we had a podcast called Buy, Sell, or Wait. It's
an age-old tradition.
That's right. I throw out a topic, and you tell me if you buy it, you sell it, and if it's a game, you say you also have the option of wait, in case you're saying as we look somewhere at Brian's ceiling.
His ceiling is lovely.
Yes.
Turning the light on.
But if it's a game, you also have the option of wait, saying, wait for a price drop. So, first one, here we go. All right, Robert, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition.
Buy, actually. It does look like a cosmetic upgrade thing, but I think the fact of the matter is it's actually a damn good upgrade. I think The only thing that kind of stands off with me about it is the fact that cruddy multiplayer is still included, but the graphics look great on both Xbox One and PS4. They both play great, despite the addition of Kinect.
This is a one-sentence answer game.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was just trying to defend myself professionally.
You're not supposed to.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. All right, Max. Buy Stellar 08 Tomb Raider Definitive Edition.
I have two answers. Buy if you've never played Tomb Raider. Wait if you have, because $60 is a lot for just a cosmetic upgrade, and some extra outfits for Laura.
Jennifer. Buy Stellar 08.
Sell. I've already played it, and I don't give a shit about cosmetic upgrades.
Brian. Buy Stellar 08
art books.
Yeah, if it had an art book, boy, she'd be all over it.
And a map! And a map!
Cloth map. I have standards.
Brian.
Brian, we can't hear you.
Yeah, just give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, Brian. Thumbs up. Okay.
Apparently, in the move to where we got to see his ceiling, he busted his mic.
Yeah.
Now he's mad.
Throwing down the water bottle. Boom.
We love Brian.
Gauntlet thrown.
All right.
Next.
Nope.
All right, so Jennifer, Richard Sherman. Seattle Seahawks cornerback, known for his boisterous outbreaks.
Oh, I know who he is. You don't need to give me the girl talk. I know who he is.
I had to fill the air as you paused.
Sports ball.
I was trying to fill this.
I live in Denver. What do you think?
Sell with a hammer.
Sell. Pass.
You're not a Denver fan.
GTFO. No, I'm a Ravens fan. But since the Ravens didn't quite make the playoffs this year, I'm now a Broncos fan because I live in Denver and my family would lynch me if I wasn't a Broncos fan.
Robert, buy Stellar 08, Richard Sherman.
Sell it like it's Skittle mixed sausage, because you guys didn't hear about this. Some butcher in Seattle is mixing Skittles into sausage. Picture the old Marshawn Lynch. And it sounds like the worst thing ever, and it probably sounds like it is. I'd rather eat beer-flavored jelly beans from Jelly Belly.
Max, Richard Sherman.
Bye. I'm a fan.
Get off my podcast. Get going.
He was fired up because he was going to the Super Bowl. Can't fault him for that. You want these guys to be maniacs on the field. What do you expect as soon as the game's over?
I had no problem with his outburst. I have no. He's on the Seahawks. He's playing my team at the Super Bowl. GTFO.
Oh, but still. A straight A student his whole life. Yeah,
he's not a punk. He's just caught up in the moment with Crabtree and everything like that. I don't blame him for his comments, but we're going to run roughshod over him. Let's just be honest.
All right. Max. Neil Blomkamp directing a Halo TV series pilot.
Yeah. Oh, big time buy. I'm a big fan of his. District 9 is fantastic. I really liked Elysium?
Yeah.
That's what that movie was
Elysium.
I can't believe I forgot it already.
Futuristic Damon looked up to an apple II.
I liked that movie as...
You liked that POS?
I loved that. I liked it as much as District 9.
POS.
I was a big fan of that movie. Yeah, so yes, I'm a big fan of that director. Bye.
Max is a big fan of getting hit over the head with a 2x4. You understand what I'm saying?
Or an art book, which is a great tool.
Robert, Neil Blomkamp directing a Halo TV series.
Bye. I'm a fan of his, so I'm definitely down to see what he does. Because he was supposed to direct the Halo movie so long ago, before Microsoft went and fucked that up. So hey, I'll take whatever I can get. Bye.
Brian, Neil Blomkamp, Halo TV.
I think that it's going to be a cool series, honestly. I think that he could do some good with it. Also, to catch everyone up, if you can hear me now, I'm going to echo Max's sentiment on Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. I'll buy if you haven't played it. Wait for a price drop if you have played it. And as far as Richard Sherman, I bought him all the way up until he started trash-talking Peyton Manning, because really, Peyton Manning's pretty much the most proven player in the NFL today.
What did he say?
But apparently he throws ducks. What was it?
Yeah, he said he throws ducks.
He ducks and throws.
It works.
Jennifer, Neil Blomkamp.
No. Sell.
Oh man.
She doesn't like Abrams. She doesn't.
I really don't like Halo either. So.
It's a double negative for her.
But you like Resident Evil.
Yeah. It was Paul Thomas Anderson. Oh, bye.
Go to hell!
And
Shut
he
your
just
whore
loves
mouth.
Never Dead, which is $4.99 on the Microsoft store, by the
Yes.
way.
I think we need a hand with this game.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Keep it rolling, Scott.
All right. Brian, Bravely Default, buy, sell, or wait.
I am waiting.
No, what'd you do?
No, what did you do?
What did you do? We lost
Waiting
you.
for his headset to work. Waiting for his headset to work.
You nudged your computer and we lost you.
We're gonna call this the technical problem broadcast.
We're also going to call it the Unshaven
Yeah, the
podcast.
Woolly Willy.
Between you and Brian, jeez, you guys look like a couple of hipsters.
Me with my goatee, all sexy.
All right, Robert, Bravely Default.
I played the demo and it's pretty good, but it's not really. I'm not a fan of handheld RPGs that aren't, tied into Fire Emblem. So I'll say wait, but there's potential for a buy.
Jennifer?
Bye.
Max?
Unknown. Haven't played a second of it.
No idea. All right. Okay. Is the PS4 shortage over, Robert?
Buy, because I'm starting to see more of them in stores.
Jennifer?
Sell, I think it was artificial to begin with.
Max?
Man, I don't really know because I haven't been on the lookout for them, but I do know that they're easier to find. I guess buy.
Max thought this through.
All right. A live-action Ghost in the Shell movie. Jennifer, buy or sell?
Ugh.
You know what? Probably wait, because I love Cyberpunk. I love Ghost in the Shell. I am not confident that there is a director out there that will do it justice.
Supposedly, the Snow White and the Huntsman director, Rupert Sanders, is tied to it.
Okay, and you lost me completely, so let me change my answer to sell. I can't wait to see Kirsten Stewart cast as the lead.
And then bopped in the back.
Max,
live-action
Ghost in the Shell, buy or sell?
Sell. Live action. When you try to make a live action from something that's animated, it doesn't usually go well.
Robert?
Sell, and the reason is, I got 2 words for you, Dragon Ball Evolution.
That's your defense?
That's my sell. Get no more fucking animated and live action thing. They're still making a Kira, for God's sake.
Look at that. Yeah, Avatar.
Yep.
Last Airbender. It's another one.
Last Airbender.
God, that was so bad.
There you go. Yep, sell. Sell.
Sell
Okay.
like hot
All right,
cake.
Robert. Omaha, buy or sell?
Buy, because Omaha! Omaha! Yes, let's be honest, it's Peyton Manning's catchphrase, so I gotta support it.
Max, Omaha.
Buy. I love it, and I love their steaks as well.
Jennifer. Omaha.
Totally buy, because, and like, before I was just kind of like, oh, whatever, it's his catchphrase, that's cute, that's adorable, but then, if you recall, the other day at DIA, they replaced all the flights going to Omaha with Omaha exclamation point, and
not to mention,
cool.
Not to mention the fact that during his last game, a bunch of people donated to charity every time he said it, so that's why he did it so often. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that's why he did it so often, as he says it often anyway.
Does he do it in the bathroom? You gotta wonder, Omaha!
Omaha! Are you okay, guys? Yeah, no.
All right, Max. Deathlock making an appearance in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sal. Anything Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm done with that show. They had really good chance. They've lost me. It's done. They had good opportunities to make that more about heroes than humans, and that's what I wanted, but they made it more about humans. And I don't care about humans. I live with humans.
Confirmed. Max hates humans. Jennifer, Deathlock.
You know, this is another one that I'm totally neutral on, so I'm just going to go with sell.
Robert?
Sell. I gave up on that series midway through when they made it Coulson's personal drama house.
Yeah.
Give me a break. I'm watching Sleepy Hollow. Now that's an awesome show.
That's what I hear.
All right. Max.
Yes.
Fable Anniversary.
Fable Anniversary. Bye. It's a classic series now. It's funny calling Fable a classic series, but it is now. It's reached that status. Bye.
Jennifer, you have a funny look in your face. Fable anniversary.
So, God, if I can't even talk about how much disappointment I have in that franchise. Like, every single time.
No, we lost.
Oh, now
No.
Jen's voice is gone.
Brian came in and Jen lost her voice.
Brian. I'm so sorry.
Brian has
Brian.
once
I don't
again
know why
destroyed
you
that.
were
And now,
hating
Brian,
me,
we still
but
can hear you. Sorry.
All right, Robert, Fable anniversary by yourself.
God bless Mr. Scratch.
I'm going to say wait. I mean, it's a good series, but, I mean, the thing is it really necessary to remake Fable so soon? I mean, I'm sure it's got some features that are going to be interesting to it, but personally, I'd rather see all the effort go into a new Fable game. And we're getting one in 2015, but still, I'd be...
You want a new Fable game? Why?
Because I like that series, I just don't know if we need a remake. Oh, there goes Jen with her judging look.
Judging hard. Of course, as I always say, anytime I'm judging you or giving you the judging look, try to remember what Brian just said earlier. I'm still loyal to Resident Evil, so keep that in mind.
All right, Brian, we'll try this again. Fable anniversary by Cellerweight.
Nope. No.
Why?
Oh, Brian.
No, because ceiling.
Brian?
Because ceiling. Because ceiling.
All right. Here's my controversial topic for tonight. Robert, Channing Tatum as Gambit in a Gambit movie.
Sell like there's no tomorrow. Sell like it's X-Men Origins Wolverine, because it might as well be. Sell like Ryan Reynolds is a mutant version of Deadpool. God, sell.
Deadpool is a mutant.
Well, no, but the thing is, his version in X-Men Origins Wolverine is nothing.
You mean
Hey.
a mutated version? Hey,
Yes!
Brian!
Brian! All right,
Fable.
Brian, you try it. Channing Tatum as Gambit. Buy or sell?
I'm selling. Do I really need to explain?
No, because if you say mutant, you get made fun of. I'm like, I know he's a mutant.
He's a mutated mutant.
Yes, he's a super mutant.
And I'm selling Fable Anniversary.
I would wait for the bargain bin on that at best.
Yeah.
Max, Channing Tatum Gambit.
Oh, buy a billion times
Oh,
buy.
fuck off!
What is wrong with you?
I like both of those things. I like Gambit and I like Channing Tatum. Combine the two.
You
Bye.
know what? He's
Bye.
probably
I'll
going
be
to go see
there.
that new Wachowski
I'll be there at midnight.
siblings movie.
Jen, Channing Tatum Gambit.
Nerd rage!
Why?
So,
That's like Ben Affleck all over again.
Here's the one caveat I will add to this. If you recall, in X-Men Origins, the first god-awful movie, one of the kids from the boy version of The Craft, what was that? It was like Taylor Kitsch or something like that, played Gambit. So really, Channing Tatum only can go up, but that's not saying a whole lot.
I also like Taylor Kitsch.
Or you talking about John Carter?
And
You, sir.
more Tim Riggins Friday Night Lights, which is a
So
great show.
I'll just
Max,
say that
You are the problem.
my lasting image of Channing Tatum now is his appearance from This Is the End.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
Still haven't seen that movie.
That's good. It's really good.
Go see
All right,
I don't know if I would trust that because Max said it was good.
Final question. Robert,
Yes.
Halo 2 anniversary on Xbox One this year, Halo 5 next year, buy or sell?
I'd rather have Halo 5, so I'm going to say, well, Halo 2 is still a good game, but sell. I mean, we played Halo 2 on Xbox. Come on. We need Halo 5. We're going to have Destiny. You're telling me we're going to have Destiny at that time, and we're going to go back to Halo 2 after we play Destiny? Really?
Just two Bungie games released at the same time.
Brian, buy or sell Halo 2 this year, Halo 5 next year?
I'll buy Halo 2 this year if it means that I can also get other classic maps. Like, I want to revisit all the great Halo 2 multiplayer maps, but I also want other classic maps like brought forward into that, like all the ones that I've bought with Halo 3 and Halo 4. I'd love some sort of forward compatibility there, like we've seen with other platforms like Rock Band and things like that. That would be one thing that would absolutely make me buy every single map if I knew it was going to go to the next game. Until then, I'm going to say wait.
Don't hold your breath on that.
I know, but
There's
it
too much
should
money
be.
involved.
You're asking
It
for
should
the
be a
moon.
lot easier.
Yeah.
Jen, we know what a Halo lover you are.
Because it's
So-
got Resident Evil in the
Of
title.
course.
No, I hate you all. What the hell? Go. You know what? Right now, stop. If you're listening to this podcast, stop. And go find my review for Resident Evil 6. And maybe you'll understand this conversation a little more. Sell, because I'm just totally ambivalent on it. Like, whatever.
All right, Max, you've got the final word. Halo 2 this year, Halo 5 next year, buy or sell.
Buy Halo 2. Depending on what the multiplayer looks like, if it's just going to be a cleaned up version of Halo 2 with the maps and mechanics and everything, because Halo 2 has a huge fan base still. It was Xbox Live for a point in time for the Xbox, and Halo 5, yeah, I have really high hopes for Halo 5 next year. So buy both.
Well, if you remember the multiplayer of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, it was a cleaned up version of Halo 1 on the campaign, but then it was Halo Reach's multiplayer with Halo 1 maps.
Right.
Well, that was because they didn't really have online multiplayer for Combat Evolved.
Nope.
So,
Well,
this gonna
PC they
be-
did.
Is this going to be 360 and 1?
I would imagine it would be. Like, I mean, it would be weird if it wasn't on 360 as well.
I don't know. I mean, it's like Halo Spartan Assault's coming out for 360, but are really going to mess with that after seeing what they did on 1? I mean, I don't know.
it's just making it available to a wider audience.
Hey,
No, it's kind of weird. We are seeing some 360. It's rumored that some 360 experiences will come to 1. There's rumors that Forza Horizon's going to come out. Some variation of Fable's going to come out. I'm like, I don't know.
Why?
and yeah, Brian, I wouldn't. But back to that map business you were requesting. Spartan Assault, if you buy it for the 1, you still have to buy it for 360.
Yeah, which sucks.
It's ridiculous. Come on, it's insane.
Meanwhile, PlayStation offers PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for both if you just buy the PS3 version.
Right.
And it's
Vita
$20 right now. Which
But
is
the funny thing is, if you bought Spartan Assault for the Windows 8 PC or for your Windows Phone, you get a discount for the Xbox One version.
Crazy.
Yay!
Insane. Crazy pills.
All 10 people that bought it for Windows Phone.
Leave it to Max to have a Zoolander reference. Everybody's taking crazy pills.
It's a funny movie.
That's one of the greatest quotes from that.
Everybody.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
A tumultuous buy-seller wait on my part.
I don't want to say that you let the podcast down, but you kind of let the podcast down.
I thought we were going to see like Brian rage going on, like some spiking of the headphones.
I did twice. I threw them.
Well, but
I'd
we
like to
didn't
think that
see that.
Firefox let the podcast down. So I switched to Chrome and it didn't work at first, but then it worked.
Curse you,
I don't know.
Mozilla.
I'm not going to curse it.
Don't curse it, Brian. It's all good. It loves you.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It totally does. Okay, it does.
Okay.
It's just go with us here. So I think
I
the
am.
last thing we have before we go into what we're playing is something that we've touched a lot in this podcast, and it's kind of why I wanted to talk on about it tonight, is that recently Alienware revealed that their Steam machine that they're coming out with will not be upgradable. Now, the Steam machine is going to come in around the same price point, they said, and it's very vague right now. They said around the same price as the Xbox One and the PS4. So we're in the $400 or $500 market, and that their advice to you is that if you want to improve it, you just need to buy a new one every year. And
Well,
that
No.
if that's not a acceptable solution, buy a PC.
They did come out with a second statement saying the reason for that is because it's a micro PC architecture, and they said it's not that it's not upgradable, it's just going to be really difficult for users to upgrade.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with a system.
They
that
recommend buying a whole new version versus trying to do the smaller micro PC upgrade.
So let me get this straight. It's going to be the price of an Xbox One and PS4, and we're going to have to replace it with something else that's the price of an Xbox One or PS4, right?
Well, conceivably, you wouldn't have to do it every year.
Yearly
You
updates.
would do it every couple of years.
Well, that's so much better.
It's quite a business. It's quite a business strategy they've got.
Now, this is the direction the opposite direction of what I think consoles should be doing. I think consoles should have upgradable parts if you so choose, a la the failed expansion pack of the N64. I think that it would be a good idea. Say Xbox One has a graphic card thing. It's not like a thing where you have to open up the Xbox One. It's just a little slot. You pull out the stock graphics card, insert the old one, or the new one, and then it's just plug and play, and you can play games at maximum resolution. Like as newer games come out, like 4 or 5 years down the road, and they're more powerful than what the Xbox allows you to do, you can suddenly play these games at max resolution. If you don't have the graphics card, you can play at a lower resolution.
I would be for that if the only thing it improved was resolution, because that opens the door for this game is playable if you upgraded. It's not playable if you didn't. And then
I agree with that.
Sounds like the 32X all over again.
Well, but I think the question that should be on our mind right now is that, again, and we've asked this multiple times, who are these things being marketed to? Not PC gamers, because PC gamers looked at that and laughed. But then on the other hand, console gamers also looked at it and laughed, because I play consoles so that I don't have to upgrade my shit.
Well, probably a consumer market that doesn't want to mess with custom PCs, while the same token isn't exactly sold on next-gen consoles. Something approachable with Steam.
Do we think that there's that big of a market for that?
No, but they're going to shoot for it anyway, because it's Valve. They can afford to.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I don't
not
know how big of a
Valve.
market there's going to be for Steam machines. It's going to be a slow growth market, very slow growth.
And the fact that there are so many of these Steam machines also
That's the thing, too.
It's oversaturation, very much so, I think.
You remember when there were 2 versions of 3DO by what, Philips and Toshiba? Oh man, it's like, can we just have one manufacturer? Can Valve make their own hardware?
Well, and I said this before, like with Android, and again, I'm a big Android person, but there's like 6,000 Android phones out there, but there's really only like 3 or 4 that are worth anything, that are good.
Yep.
So like,
Yep.
And they're really only by 2 or 3 manufacturers, so it's like, I don't see these Steam machines taking off, and I think that when they revealed that portion of it, that kind of felt like yet another, why are we going through this charade? But since we've talked about Steam machines, what are we playing right now? I know what Scott was playing.
Might as well talk about it because I want to kill him, but go ahead, Scott.
You mean when Scott's not playing his Windows 8 registry? Yeah. I've been playing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. That was
No, nobody gives a shit about you playing Tomb Raider.
We know what we're talking about here.
What did you play before that?
What did I play before that? So, all right. So if you don't know, Titanfall did have an alpha test. According to Respawn, I can say I was in it. I can't really talk about it. So since I can't talk about it, I will say.
I can't talk about it. He's just gonna sit there.
So that's all I get. That's it.
Worst mime ever.
Tell us about Tomb Raider Definitive Edition that nobody cares about.
Hey!
It's $59.99 is way too much. I'm sorry. You can get the frickin' game for $10 on the Xbox, PC, and PS3. $10! Why would I pay $60 for a visual upgrade? And that's all it is. They didn't fix the problems with the multiplayer.
Because multiplayer was problematic.
I like playing it. It was one of the best single-player campaigns of 2013. But it's not worth $60 when it's being sold for $10 everywhere else on every other platform.
I think that the fact that it's $60 says that Square Enix looked at it and said, oh, there was a ton of games that came out at launch for the Xbox One and PS4, and then not really much since. People want something new on their Xbox One and PS4, and they're probably likely to pay for that because you have this new technology, you want to show it off, and you want to be like, oh, cool, let's see what this thing can do. So you're more likely at this stage to pay the $60. So I think that's why it was rushed out so quickly. It's not saying it was rushed, but it was pushed out before the March releases and the February releases.
Yeah,
I expect we'll see it at $30 and $40 fairly quickly.
Yeah,
I think by the end of February.
You gotta keep in mind, Square's got a doubleheader in February they didn't want to mess with. They got Lightning Returns and Thief, so they wanted to get Tomb Raider out before that. Oh well, that's
3DS.
Nintendo. Yeah, technically, whatever. You got it.
Yep, that's really all I'm playing. I've been too busy with work and shit. But I did review a Minecraft book too, so if anyone wants to go read that, actually a good book called A Year of Minecraft Behind the Scenes at Mojang. And it's very interesting
Cool.
because it's that most of the documentaries and books that have been written about Mojang have been about that period when Minecraft first launched and, when Notch was first developing the game. This is like that year after, as they start dealing with the success and they're like flush with cash and having fans bug them and all that. So it's more like how they deal with the success of Minecraft versus that, oh, everything's so happy, we got this awesome game. So
Nice.
That works. Robert, what are you playing right now?
Well, I did just finish up Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. I enjoyed it. I mean, like the guy said, yeah, $60 is a tough price to pay when it's like $10 out somewhere else. But if you're looking for a game to enjoy on your PS4 or Xbox One, you could do worse. So that's out there. Another game I just got, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. Now, the thing is this. I've been playing Dragon Ball Z games for years, and most of them have been the same. Let's fly around an area. Let's kick this guy over here. Let's punch this guy over here. Let's throw fireballs. And, it's all understood if you're a big fan of the anime and everything like that, but if you're a fan of something like, say, Street Fighter, you're going to be bored shitless. Battle of Z tries to concentrate a little more to make the battles more involving, but I just can't help but run into a feeling of deja vu with it. It looks good. There's a wide variety of characters and modes, but, I don't know. I kind of wish Capcom would have the Dragon Ball Z license and just make a good old-fashioned 2D fighting game. I would eat that up. I'd love that.
Now, let me ask you this, because I was looking at it on the PlayStation Vita store, because it's on sale currently. What do you think, as far as the only Dragon Ball Z games I've played were the Budokai games, and I enjoyed them a lot, at least as a younger guy. I don't know if I'd enjoy them as much now, especially given how they've probably aged poorly. Do you think that I would enjoy Battle of Z?
The gameplay is a little bit more. It's still got the basics. You still have to fly around in the 3D arena, lock onto enemies, take part in epic battles and everything. But if you're a fan of the Budokai games, there's a lot to identify with that you'd enjoy. My recommendation is rent it first, though.
Yeah, there's a demo, so I'm going to try that out.
Yeah, check out the demo first. It's not bad. It's just. If you're either a Dragon Ball Z fan or you're a fighting fan, this is more for Dragon Ball Z fans.
Okay, cool.
It's okay, but it's like I've seen this before. But yeah, that's pretty. And then aside from Pinball Arcade on PS4, which is awesome, I just wish they released more tables. That's what I've been playing this week.
Max, what are you playing?
Finished up Tomb Raider, like everybody. That game it's really fortunate that came out, like Brian said, when it did, because there's just nothing going on this month. This whole month is just a whole lot of nothing. We're talking about Dragon Ball Z games, for Christ's sake.
I know. Important factors!
So yeah, it's lucky that it came out in this barren wasteland that is January. Other than that, I've been picking up Madden because I need to do some research for my fantasy football league that I talked about last time. So I need to figure out the logistics of how that's all going to work. So I did that for research purposes, and I'm starting Lightning Returns this weekend. And I also just downloaded Flappy Wings.
Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird. Sorry, I just started it actually just before this podcast, and I'm already hooked.
Flappy Bird is struck. We can't even see Max anymore.
So yeah, that and yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing Lightning Returns.
I played the demo, and it's not bad. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Robert.
I was just gonna say I played the demo. It's not bad. I like the different variations in combat, but you really got to be a fan of Final Fantasy to kind of fully appreciate it. But it's got some flair to it. Go ahead.
Brian, what are you playing this week?
No.
Mimic what you're playing. Is it a shooter? Is it?
No.
We lost him again.
Definitive? Not if it's Definitive Edition. Is it? Yes, it's Definitive Edition. It's Tomb Raider.
So, a little bit of background into asking Brian onto this podcast. When we originally started rolling and Scott told us that he was just too snowed in and wouldn't be able to get out because he was terrified of the white stuff falling from the sky, I asked Brian to join us, and Brian said, I have to finish Tomb Raider. I can't get on. And I was like, please, Brian, please come help us. So he was like, okay, sure. It took him 40 minutes to get onto the podcast. Now, in that time, Scott was able to shovel out from the mountain of snow on his house.
Yes!
Yay!
Yay, sound!
It only took me 6 tries of muting and unmuting Google Plus for it to start working again. I was going to say, you're taking a major risk by going last to me, because who knows how long my voice is going to hold up. And that was going to be my first line, and look what happened. So I'm going to hold the mic
Self-fulfilling
perfectly still.
prophecies?
Yes. So holding the mic perfectly still and looking in one very particular direction as not to anger the Google gods, I am going to tell you that I am currently playing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Yes, it is good. No, it is not $60. Again, good. Luckily, I'm reviewing it, so I did not have to pay for it. Also, I may or may not have participated in that test that Scott also participated, perhaps, maybe in.
No way,
Son of a bitch.
So
you were really secretive about it. I didn't see you say one word about it.
I didn't. I was very secretive about it.
Wow, look at you.
Sneaky. I gotta wait till.
I got all excited when I got my invite. I was like, woohoo!
Well, maybe I'll get to the beta in February, hopefully.
Hopefully, February 14th, R.I.P. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Somebody loves me.
I think that's the greatest gift they can give you, because it keeps on giving.
Yes.
I was actually pretty excited by that, I have to say. I myself have not really been playing anything. I've been too busy catching up on all my comic subscriptions, which I kind of got behind on, so I had like 15 issues to read, and then I plowed through them, and I'm not even really sure what, like, I mixed up the storylines, because all of a sudden I was like, oh, so cool, and this happened in Fatale, and then I was like, oh wait, that didn't happen. Shit. So I've been going back and rereading them again.
Also, I want to mention something I mentioned on Twitter. I'm completely enamored by Spelunky and Don't Starve currently.
Isn't Don't Starve fun?
It is so much fun. And Spelunky kind of has a similar vibe in that like you don't know a whole lot going in, and it just kind of you learn as you go. And it's great in that aspect. Like I love the fact that they just drop you in and say, have at it.
I know.
I bought that in the Steam sale, but I have yet to actually play it.
Don't Starve's
It's in
fun.
my backlog now.
It is fun. You just have to be prepared for it. Like if you can survive to day 17, you've arrived. Sort of.
Pretty
I'm
much.
so
And
mad.
I like that it's a survival game. It's not a survival horror game. It's just a survival game, and it's fun. I love it. I want to go play it now.
I'm kind of looking forward to Outlast myself.
Oh,
February
yeah.
4th.
I played it on PC. I still have such mixed feelings about Outlast because, it was great. It was like the scares are there and the tension's there, but man, do they just rip you right out of the scares with the atmospherics? Because all of a sudden you walk into a room that's literally dripping blood.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler.
You can't kill enough people to do that. There's and especially not like multiple rooms. And like seriously, at this point, you killed like 600 people in each one of these rooms. I don't think that happened.
Well,
And,
you don't know, Jen. You haven't killed anybody in real life, so you can't judge.
Yep.
I'm familiar with as a person who has had an artery cut open multiple times, I'm familiar with how much you bleed.
Look, it's just, they got a hold of some Hunt's catch-up, and they went to town.
Exactly, and that's not
Fine.
okay.
I'll help Max out here. I knew he was going to correct Scott with the fine.
You know what?
I'm just going to say Whataburger ketchup.
If you watch the original RoboCop, everybody blows up in blood.
Wait,
Okay.
do people actually buy Hunts? That's the thing.
Yeah, really? What's that? Not that I know.
I don't know. I don't even buy ketchup. My wife buys the ketchup. Hunt's was the first thing that came to my mind.
Ketchup is so beneath Scott. Anyways, would you gentlemen love to tell us where we can find your content and follow you? Scott?
Sure, you can follow me on Twitter at Scott Grill, on the Facebook thing at ATL Games Examiner, and catch my writings over at examiner.com.
Robert?
You can find me at twitter.com/thedcd. You can also find me on Facebook, Robert Workman. And my work you can find at Prima, Madojo, and I can officially announce it, guys, starting next week, I'm going to start doing stuff for Shack News. Yay!
Yes!
Nice.
Give me a Titanfall Banner code.
Part of that Gamefly empire.
And
Congrats.
Empire, but it's going to be fun.
Max?
You can follow me on Twitter at GameGuyPGH for a lot of video game. Well, now it's a lot of video game news related. It's pretty boring stuff. And,
Fun.
reviews coming.
Good plug.
Yeah, really. Reviews will run in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and some of that news I was just talking about.
Brian?
You can find me on Twitter at Brian P. Shea, Facebook.com/bshea, and then you can find my work on VideoGameWriters.com and official Xbox Magazine.
Bearded Dick Clark, everybody.
You can follow me. You can follow me at Jen Bozier. You can find my work on videogamewriters.com. And you can follow us at Furious Fourcast. If you listen to this podcast, chances are you either found us on FuriousFourcast.com or on iTunes, or on the Google Play Store, or even, yes, on the Windows Phone, because somebody out there has to join Scott with being a Windows Phone owner. We're pretty much all over the place. And YouTube, of course. If you're watching this, God bless. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful evening.
Titanfall.
So I'm sitting here with this fixed smile waiting for Scott to kill the transmission and realize that I have to kill the transmission.
You're